radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. That's right. It is Thursday, June 21st, 2018. 171 days into the new year, just 194 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It is Thursday. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's Thursday. It's Fadernight. Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live will be up shortly. Followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow us, friend us, head over to OnStellar, onstellar.com, OnStellar.com, onstellar.com. It's a social media site. That's all it is. Free to join, free to hang out, free to do everything. As a matter of fact, you register, use my referral code Jimmy, you get some bonus tokens because this is a blockchain-based social media network. The next great social media platform. And it is here. It is now on Stellar.com. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. At JChurchRadio. Very simple. Facebook and YouTube are still out there hanging out. And if you feel the need to go and follow and like and subscribe and do all of that stuff, you can over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. All right. Today's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday night, Fader night. I'm in the chair. Open lines all night long. I cannot wait to just sit here and hang out with you guys and just talk. Just talk. We're going to coffee talk all night long, okay? Now, if you want to hang out with us on Twitter in the sandbox, that is hashtag F2B. Oh, man, that's Alec Baldwin. That's good. That's good, Frankie. That's good. I'm just, you know what? I'm going to retweet that just because it's cool. That's funny. Thank you for all the dancing gifts, man. They are amazing. Who's that? Olivia, who is that? I don't know who that is. It's good, though. It's good. That 60s psychedelic vibe. That's pretty. You guys, thank you for that. And if you want to check out all of these dancing tweets, you can go and do it now. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Ack is there. That's cool. Wow. Ack. Let me look. Yeah, spot on the money. Right? Ack. Right there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go. Let's go. We got a lot to do tonight, and I am going to set the stage on a few things really quick that I would like to get your opinions on. So we're going to get to that in just a bit. Hashtag F2B is Twitter. The Sandbox, hashtag F2BQ is questions or comments during the show. Now, the art from Eric Stitt. Eric Stitt is always there on Twitter. But I want to say this banner, this slider, this piece of art that you did is really, 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 really cool. And thank you for that. You know, I've been after Rita for a while now to do a really cool Fadernight. This is perfect. Now I've got a Fadernight. Eric, is it okay if I use this? Can I use this wherever and whenever I want on Fadernight? Is that cool with you? Tweet me if it is, because if it is, that's going to be our new Fadernight. I like that. That's cool. I'm going to use it. Consider that stolen, Eric. I really appreciate it. It's very cool. All right. You can also email throughout the show, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. All right. Now, before I get to everything, breaking news. I tweeted out about this briefly earlier today. All right. So, Vice published an article yesterday about Contact in the Desert by one of their editors, one Brian McManus. Nice enough guy, I guess, about his trip to Contact in the Desert. And I'm sure it's going to circulate and people are going to comment, and there you go. Now, Brian quoted me. I'm not going to get into specifics, but he quoted me, and it's right there in the middle of his commentary with this quote saying, by me, open quote, maybe news outlets will no longer cue the X-Files music every time they do a story on us, end quote. Wow, right? Sounds good. Looks good. It's right there. I said it. It's cool, right? Well, then Vice tweeted out, cue the X-Files music when they posted the article link. And exactly, right? You saw this coming, you know, and I talked to Brian about this extensively, you know, about, and the tone of his piece kind of leaned on this a little bit, that, you know, the UFO community is always teased and so forth. And that now we're, you know, approaching solid footing because of the disclosure that's been going down since December, which he specifically asked me about. But I told him, you know, it's just like every single time, man. No, man, you know, it's going to be a cool article. Okay, all right, well, whatever. But it's you know what? All I have to say is thanks, Vice. Thanks, Brian. You guys are part of the problem. Right there. Vice is supposed to be an alternative voice, one that I respected. But in this article, there's not one word about how cool CITD was, how fun it was, how wonderful, how great, you know, about the good times that everybody had, the vibrations that were there. I mean, just totally an amazingly fun, soulful event. Not a word about any of that. Nothing. And I think Brian needs to see something strange in the sky. It's my opinion. You know, and then one day he'll look back at the weekend that could have been at Contact in the Desert. It would have been a whole different experience. You know, and maybe he would have, you know, been a little bit embarrassed about what he wrote. I don't dig it. He chose to take cracks at Nori, Victoria Gavalyan, and Sonia Grace. That's right. Sonia Grace. One of the nicest, coolest, brightest, and down-to-earth people you could ever meet. Ever, including Brian. But he did it because he thinks it's funny, right? Or he thinks he's being smart. Well, he's not. Brian asked me if he could come on the show when the article was released. And I said, well, yeah, sure. But sorry, man, that just ain't going to happen. It could have. But you don't make fun of my friends, number one, right? Number one. Number two, you don't have any idea of what you are talking about. You don't. You don't. History is going to prove and is proving, right, what the UFO question is. And you just don't go do this about my friends. You don't. I'm not cool with that. I'm not down with it at all. He pressed me for negative answers. He did. And I saw straight through that. I wouldn't give them. I'm not going to give negative answers and try to put a spin on this thing. And that just wasn't going to happen. But I told him, mass media, man, you guys cue that X-Files music. Okay, all right, well, whatever. And, I mean, it's like this, and I want all of you to understand and take this to heart. Don't ever, and I mean ever, try to embarrass this community. This is why I don't speak to the media. This is why. And it was Vice, and I thought it was going to be cool. But no, lesson learned again. And what I mean by Vice, you can say you're a skeptic, and you can say you don't believe in UFOs, and you can say you went here to see if you learned anything, and you didn't learn anything, and you went away from the conference, still skeptical about UFOs or the community or whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Paint the picture. I don't get it. That's great. That's the truth. But don't choose to make fun of individuals and this community, because that isn't cool. There you go. Our next event is going to be this Saturday, Disclosure Fest. I'll be at Disclosure Fest here in Los Angeles. It's in downtown at the Los Angeles State Historic Park, the Mass Meditation Initiative. DisclosureFest.org, complete listing of everybody that is going to be speaking, the musical guests, food, art, everything that is going on in downtown Los Angeles is right there at DisclosureFest.org. Totally free event. You can go to the website. You can go there. You can register and get your free tickets, but apparently you can go down there and crash the gates too as well. On Stellar's going to be there. They're going to have a booth. Everybody's going to be there. If you're going to be in Southern California, if you're in Arizona, if you're in New Mexico, if you're in Colorado, if you're in Nevada, if you're in Oregon, this is where you need to be. Get down here to Los Angeles. San Francisco, come on. Everybody. Modesto, come on. Riverside, come on. Everybody is going to be there. It's a huge event right there in downtown Los Angeles. Directions, everything you need is over at DisclosureFest.org. All right, so we'll see everybody there Saturday. And don't forget to sign up for our Soul Tech Gathering up at ECETI Ranch. It is this August 9th through the 12th. Just go to SoulTechGathering.com. And now the tickets are running out. I know I keep saying it, but they are. They are. Okay, this event's going to sell out. It's probably going to sell out this week. So if you're planning to go, if you're procrastinating or you're trying to do that, whatever it is, I don't want to hear later, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, Jimmy, can you do me a favor? Okay? Can't do it. SoulTechGathering.com. Corey Good's going to be my special guest. We've got James Gilliland. We've got Jason Quitt, Matthew Ryan, Michaela Sheldon, Teresa Yanaris, Holly Marie, Mary Gabrielle. We've got John Lund, Dana Harvey, Billy Carson, Laura Cantu, and Christina Contini, all at the same event teaching. Come and hang out with us. It's going to be an amazing, amazing weekend up at E-Seti Ranch. And then a week later, I'll be going out to Colorado. August 17th through the 19th, I'll be at Dimensions of Disclosure in Loveland, Colorado. And this is Corey Good's event with David Wilcock, Emery Smith, Teresa Yanaris, Gerald O'Donnell, Jordan Sather, and over 20 speakers and presenters are going to be at Dimensions of Disclosure. And it's very simple, dimensionsofdisclosure.com, tickets and info, and I'll see everybody out there, too, as well. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 875 archive shows, custom apps, Apple, Android, all platforms, just $2 a month. Simple to do. Just go over to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the podcast banner. It's right there. Very easy, very quick. All right? You can also become a Fadernight, an official Fadernight. And you do that in our membership section, separate from the podcast. All right, the podcast is an app and all of that stuff. Becoming a Fadernight is official. So you can become a Fadernight, and where you'll get the bunker cam, you get commercial-free downloadable archives, and you can even get all of that Fade to Black gear, the autographed hats and T-shirts, and you get a private email to me, all of that stuff. All right, and you can ask any Fadernight that writes to me on that private email, they get a response. They do. They do. I'm forced into it. I have to, because I said I will. Right? Okay. Yeah. You know how many I did today? You don't want to know. But I love it. I love it. And you can do all of that over in our membership section of jimmychurchradio.com. Don't forget all of our sponsors here. This show has been going on now for 5 years. We have the best sponsors that have been with us, and you know them, you've met them. It's just the best part of our community when you have sponsors that believe in freedom of speech. They believe in our community. They believe in you. They're all experiencers. They all come and hang out with us. They've all got their stories. It's the best, right? Life Change Tea. GetTheTea.com. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, some of the best jewelry you're ever going to see. Sacred Skulls, and Judikai, man, he's absolutely amazing. Numana Food Storage, absolutely amazing American company, and of course, Bearing Optics. Okay, so visit all of our sponsors. That's how this show happens. Night after night, week after week, month after month, year after year. Let's get this show cracked right now, today. Chris Pratt is 39 years old. Now, I gotta say, I'm gonna say it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Jurassic World, okay. I haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, but I hear it's absolutely amazing. Been trying to see it. Haven't been able to get in. But Guardians of the Galaxy, both of them, 1 and 2. Groot, right? Chris Pratt, today's 39. Also today, wonder if he's listening. Edward Snowden is just 35 years old. Edward Snowden. He got her done, didn't he? By the age of 35. Incredible. Wow. I guess probably by the age of 30, he had already signed his book. On this day in history, check this out. On this day, a 7.7 earthquake near the Caspian Sea in Iran kills more than 50,000 people and injures another 135,000 on this day in 1990. Now check this out. In towns along one 80-mile stretch, every single building was reduced to rubble and every single resident was killed. Think about that. On this day in 1990. Fader fact. Yep. I don't know how I do it, but check this out. In 2015, a man dressed up as an armored truck driver, right? Armored car, walked into a Walmart, tricked the employees, signed a receipt for $75,000 cash, walked out, and was never caught. Now, normally with a fader fact, I give you his name. Can't. He never got caught. That's an incredible that's an incredible story. So the other armored car driver, they show up, later on that afternoon. They were like, "We thought you guys were already here." No, we weren't. I swear, that's what happened. Otherwise, they would have never found out. Pretty crazy. There you go. Tonight, it's Thursday. It's Fadernight. Jon Rappoport's going to be here in a few short minutes with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, and that's it. Then we open up the phone lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. All right, let me hit this coffee. River Moon Coffee, Fade to Black blend. Yeah. Dan Hooper. You may not know Dan. You will after I'm done. Dan Hooper. He's a senior Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory scientist. That's right. And Dan Hooper says that alien civilizations may be forced to capture stars and harness their energy using Dyson spheres. Yep, they're going to need those to keep themselves alive as the universe continues its expanse. And that expansion is accelerated by dark energy. We don't even know what dark energy is, but apparently it's the opposite of gravity. And it's spreading everything apart. Galaxies are being pushed away from each other. I talk about this all the time. Now, he just wrote a paper. And that paper, he says that the use of these megastructures, known as Dyson spheres, which may be built around stars, will harvest their energy. And this is the deal. The megastructures around stars headline, which started last year, was repeated all around the world. Megastructures built around some megastructures, right? Okay. So he decided to publish a paper about it. And I understand. And he says that the stars will also have to be shifted from their path because wherever they are traveling to. Because ET will have to grab every energy source it can before they get too far away, because the universe is expanding. Hooper, who is also a professor of astronomy at the University of Chicago, also says, and I'm quoting, in order to maximize its access to usable energy, a sufficiently advanced civilization would choose to expand rapidly outward, build Dyson spheres or similar structures around encountered stars, and use the energy that is harnessed to accelerate those stars away from the approaching horizon and toward the center of the civilization. End quote. Now, I've stated this many, many times, both on Fade to Black and Coast to Coast AM, that our sun is going to die. We know this, right? But I want you to just understand, it's not forever. And I know that we understand that, but we forget it because every single day the sun rises, and it's there. But one day it's going to be gone. And way before that happens, we're going to be gone. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be on this planet. By the time the sun goes away, this planet will have been fried many, 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 many times. It's going to be done. It's going to be toast. Everything in the solar system is going to be toast. It's going to be gone. Right? So we are going to be out there traveling the universe. That's what, we know. When it starts to get, for maybe 100 years, 120 years at a stretch, right? And we're at the 120th year of 150 degrees a day and rising, right? We know We got to go. We got to go. So we're going to build some amazing ships, and we're going to put this entire population on this planet on ships, and we are just going to go. Gone. We have to. We can't stay. We can't stay here. We can't stay on Mars. We can't stay on Venus. Can't stay on Jupiter or Uranus or Neptune. Can't do it. Pluto. No, can't do it. Mercury, out of the question. Right? So we're going to be gone. We're going to be looking. We're going to be looking for something. We're going to be looking for anything because there's going to be less and less of everything as time marches on because the universe is expanding. Eventually, it'll appear to be empty, void of everything. It's going to expand to the point where chasing down a star is going to be a really big deal. Finding a star, seeing a star is going to be huge news because it's just going to spread apart. Well, with that thought, Hooper continues with this, because that's my thought, but he continued my thought. He says, and I quote here, over the next approximately 100 billion years, all the stars residing beyond the local group will fall beyond the cosmic horizon and become not only unobservable, but entirely inaccessible, thus limiting how much energy could one day be extracted from them. When you think about it, that's unquote. This is me now. When you think about it, the sheer size of the known universe, billions of light years to the edge of everything, and the amount of civilizations out there who are far more advanced than us, well, they've already figured that out. And they are probably snatching up stars right now. That's right. Think about it. Imagine the OPEC of star energy, right? Gas giants being bought, sold, traded, and exported on the universe commodity exchange. We're going to be out there in our star cruisers, right? We're going to pull up. We're going to pull up to the universe commodity exchange in our gigantic Earth 2 Galaxy luxury liner. Excited to have found a way to fill up our tanks because we're running on dry. Well, when we hear the sales pitch, right? Blasting out to a group of aliens desperately seeking a way to survive. And this is what we will hear over the galactic PA system. This young star comes complete with a first-class deluxe upgraded full Dyson Sphere package. It's plug and play, ready to go for your entire civilization to last another billion years. That's right. Think about it. It's probably going on right now as I speak to you. So I think we should do a GoFundMe. We can do this, man. Think about it. Let's do a GoFundMe so we can get our money together and let's go buy us a Dyson Sphere. And we can keep on keeping on. Seriously. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight, which means in a couple of seconds, Jon Rappoport's going to be here with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Followed by open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back with Jon Rappoport. Stay with me.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at getthetea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at getthetea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at getthetea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake News room in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake News room with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Very good to be here. Folks, the volcano in Hawaii. So last night, for 2 hours, I was on Coast to Coast AM with George Noory, and one of the stories that I covered was the eruption of the Kilauea volcano on the Big Island of Hawaii. And a caller came in the second hour, going to paraphrase what she said, not in the way of a news report, but just to lay her story out so that particularly those of you who live on the Big Island or in Hawaii can think about this. And if you have your own observations and so on and so forth, print them somewhere, post them somewhere. make your own story known, because there's a lot more to this eruption than the press is leading you to believe. Basically, what she said was this, that she had lived out there for a very long time near the volcano, near the geothermal facility, the Puna facility, which is on the volcano. And she said that my analysis of fracking, which I will go into in a moment, as a potential cause, contributing cause, what have you, to the eruption was correct. She said two more things. That in the past, when there have been serious problems or crises at the geothermal facility in Puna, she saw military troops guarding the facility. And if true, that's a strange situation. Why would there be military troops guarding the facility during a crisis? The second thing she said was even further out. She said she spoke to someone who worked at the facility, and he said, "You have no idea what's actually going on here. We are putting frequencies into the earth with the implication that these frequencies cause disruptions in the underground earth." The implication being that somehow this geothermal plant is operating to some degree as a military facility, a weapons facility, or a weapons testing facility. Now, I don't know whether any of this is true. So again, I'm not labeling this a news report, but I'm putting it out there, particularly for people who live in Hawaii, so that they can be stimulated to make their own remarks and post them, print them, write them, speak them, to see what's actually going on out there. So that's phase one of what I have to say tonight. Phase two is to review what I've reported here on the show before and in print in my own articles at No More Fake News. The press is not covering, and I'm talking about the mainstream press here, and most of the alternative press, with the exception of only one or two reporters that I'm aware of, that fracking may play a role in the eruption of the volcano on the Big Island. What is fracking? Well, we have to take a simplified version. Fracking is when you drill deep into the core of the earth and you put liquid down there, any kind of liquid, at pressure. In the case of oil or natural gas fracking, you would be putting chemicals down there. In the case of geothermal energy, you want to bring up heat, so you're shooting water down there, which traps or gains heat, brings that back up, and the steam is used with turbines, generators to produce a significant amount of power and electricity, somewhere on the order of 20% of the Big Island's power. That's fracking. The drilling and the insertion at pressure of liquid down into the earth, which is admitted by a variety of sources as causing earthquakes. So we have the Puna Geothermal Venture, PGV plant in Puna, situated on the Kilauea volcano. How could this be a good idea? It's been operating since 1993. How could this be a good idea? And in December of 2009, a city in Switzerland, Basel City, canceled a geothermal energy project because earthquakes were being caused, a number of earthquakes, and damage was incurred from the earthquakes. I quoted this article from the Swiss press. A study concluded that Basel was unfavorable for geothermal power generation. For this reason, earthquakes. All right. Then we have an article from The Guardian, July 11, 2013. Quote, pumping water underground at geothermal power plants can lead to dangerous earthquakes, even in regions not prone to tremors. I'm scrolling down here. It's already known that pumping large quantities of water underground can induce minor earthquakes near to geothermal power generation and fracking sites. However, new evidence reveals the potential for much larger earthquakes of magnitude 4 or 5 related to the weakening of pre-existing underground faults through increased fluid pressure from the insertion of liquid. And I continue to go and quote this article. This can trigger seismicity in seismically active areas such as volcanoes, where there is already a high fluid pressure. So the evidence is there. We don't have to go looking for it. That fracking, as I've defined it here, does indeed cause earthquakes. So why in the world would you want to stimulate a volcano by locating a geothermal production facility on the on the volcano? Now, I found an article from a mainstream newspaper out in Hawaii, which I won't bother to quote, but I'll describe it. Basically indicating, and this is a recent article, that there is a protest, significant protest, that is happening now about the geothermal facility, given the fact that the Kilauea volcano has erupted. But the article kind of weasels around and doesn't mention fracking. What it mentions is past incidents where there has been a release of gases around the geothermal plant, hydrogen sulfide, a toxic gas, and how homeowners have protested, etc., etc. But reading between the lines, you can see, especially in view of what I'm talking about here, that fracking is an issue, a major, major issue. Now, why is the mainstream press so silent about this? Well, fracking, which we know is now being used to bring up oil and natural gas, not only in the U.S., but other places around the world, is a multi-billion-dollar operation in terms of sales of the product. And if it were shown, or even suspected, that the giant eruption of Kilauea volcano right now which is tearing away chunks of the Big Island and replacing them with new chunks and causing massive evacuations and basically overrunning the island. If it were known or even suspected that fracking was the cause, think of what that would do to this multi-billion-dollar industry of recovering natural gas and oil. What other explanation would there be for the silence of the mainstream press? The scientific analysis has been done. The circumstantial evidence is there. Fracking does cause earthquakes. Try to find a geologist who would say that causing earthquakes on or under a volcano is a good idea, an active volcano. Getting the picture here? So you would expect that any self-respecting media outlet, news outlet, print or television or radio, would be looking into this and mentioning it, speculating, reporting, getting quotes, etc., etc. But it's not happening. It's not even close to happening. There is a virtual media blackout on this aspect of the story. Now, to get back to the caller last night on Coast to Coast AM with George Noory, if any part of what she is saying is true, the scandal would escalate to even higher levels, much higher levels. I have no idea whether her report is factual or not. She was obviously sincere in what she was saying. And I would expect that other people who live around the Puna geothermal facility and have been living there for a long time have their own observations of what's been going on there. And perhaps they too have been talking to people who work at the Puna geothermal facility. So what have they observed, these residents out there on the Big Island? What have they been told? There are activist groups out there, in fact, who for their own reasons have been protesting geothermal activity in this plant, in this facility, since it went online in 1993. They certainly have heard stories. They certainly have done their own investigations. Let's hear from them. Have there been military troops in the area? That would be remarkable in and of itself. Why? Is this in some way a, quote, national security issue that has to be kept under wraps? These are highly significant questions. Even when asked when there wasn't a volcanic eruption, but there is, and it's far from over. I've read accounts that there have been at least 300 earthquakes since the Kilauea volcano began to go super live recently. Now, for most people, it's simply a matter of saying, well, we knew this was eventually going to happen. We're talking about an active volcano. It has been producing lava for a long time, so it's not a giant surprise. Everybody on the Big Island knows they live next to an active volcano, and there is always, they've always known there's a danger that they might have to evacuate, they might lose their homes, etc., etc. But that's not a good enough explanation. Not when you factor in the fracking. Think about it. a volcano is automatically an earthquake zone. Now somebody sets out to do a process, not a natural process, a for-profit process, a process of extracting energy that inevitably entails fracturing rocks, rock formations, in all sorts of ways by drilling and then injecting at pressure liquid down into deep, deep, deep areas underground. That's the straightforward simplicity of it. And to simply explain this all away without factoring that in would be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It would be like saying that if you inject humans with toxic chemicals, that you wouldn't expect any adverse consequences. Well, of course you would. And in the exact same way, when you mess around with Mother Nature in an earthquake zone, you would expect there to be consequences if you are injecting pressure that fractures rock formations that are already unstable. So there is no excuse for the press to ignore this. Stories have been floated by the press on far slimmer evidence, believe me, if you don't know that already. So the only explanation that I can give for media silence on this is that there is too much at stake for elite corporations who are using fracking all over the place in order to extract oil and natural gas, and are causing earthquakes. We know this. The article that I quoted from Basel City in Switzerland is proof positive that sensible people will stop this kind of geothermal fracking when earthquakes and damage result, and when they know that if they keep on, the earthquakes are only going to get bigger. So this is yet another incident of a media blackout. That's what we're looking at here, folks. And there is far more to this story, and I'm giving you everything that I can find on it. And that's my report for tonight. I think maybe Jimmy would like to weigh in, and we can go back and forth for a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, John, the question that I have, as far as I know, is there any oil in Hawaii? Right?
Not that I know of. No,
right?
This has nothing to do with oil.
Right. I mean, and so fracking here in the United States is used to extract energy sources, oil and shale, and how they induce that and get it out of the ground. And it's causing the earthquakes in Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas and so forth. Why frack in Hawaii?
Because there is heat under a volcano. And when you send down water under pressure, you will bring up hot water and steam, exactly what a nuclear power plant produces. That's all nuclear power plants are for, is to produce hot steam.
Right.
That is then used in conjunction with turbines and generators to produce electricity.
Well, and this is where I'm going with this. The fracking here in the United, which it's just a bad idea, first off. It just doesn't make sense, and Mother Nature will correct itself. You know, that's what's going on. But it seems that there could be another way to get to the thermal energy that they're trying to get to without fracking. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why fracking is so easy for them to use that as always the first choice. You know, whether it's here in the mainland or out there in Hawaii. And out there in Hawaii, it's not for oil. It's to to get to the thermal energy, which I understand. I understand the whole principles behind that and turning turbines and generating steam. I get that. But there's got to be a better way to do it. I
don't know if there is one. I mean, you're looking at heat that is trapped underground, deep underground. Because if it weren't trapped, you would see on an ongoing basis roads buckling, houses collapsing. If that heat just easily could come to the surface on its own, or by some simple process, you kind of like, hi, heat, come on up, come on, we're just digging a hole, and now you can come up on your own, and we'll capture you. If that were possible so easily, nobody would be able to live around that volcano. Everything would collapse. So it's necessary to do something aggressive in order to bring back that heat up to the surface.
And this is for generating electricity in Hawaii. They're not exporting the electricity to the mainland. They're not doing, they're not sending electricity to Guam. Right?
No, but they're producing something on the order of 25% of the electricity for the Big Island with this one geothermal facility.
Right.
So it's significant. This is not just a little pilot project.
No, I understand. Again, I understand. It just seems that it's not that large of a population, that there must be an alternative here. And instead, they're destroying homes and lives and upsetting this volcano and the people in Hawaii understand that they live on a volcano. You're taking chances by living there. But why tip the scales and increase the odds of something really bad happening like it is now? I just don't understand it.
No kidding. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like a bunch of geologists go out there and they say, okay, so we want to produce steam and therefore electricity. So let's use a method that's going to cause earthquakes. And hey, let's build a facility right on an active volcano.
You saw the lava flow, right? That fissure that went right up to the edge.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable situation, and the people of Hawaii have every reason to be upset, and they should be screaming, but they also understand that they live on a volcano. So there's this yin and yang thing. They could be a lot more outraged than they are, but they do understand that they live on a volcano and things can happen. But it seems that we are forcing these things to happen, and they probably wouldn't have happened, or at least the magnitude that they are, if we weren't there fracking. And that's my take.
And also, here's one other factor. 2 buildings at the geothermal facility have already been destroyed. The facility has shut down its production.
Right.
It may never reopen again.
Right.
And all of this was known to the scientists and geologists when they built the facility, that this could definitely happen. So there's also self-destruction involved here.
And so
of the facility itself.
Yeah, that's right. And the investment is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
The investment is gone. They're insured up to $100 million, which to me sounds like a drop in the bucket as far as the cost of having the facility there in the first place.
It's an unbelievable situation. Unbelievable. And we've been planning a trip to Hawaii. My daughter the other day in the car, when are we going? When are we going? And I want to go out there, and I want to see this for myself, and I want to talk to the people out there. I really, really do. I feel, man, and it's just completely man-made. That the way that I see it right now, I just feel horrible, just horrible. Jon, thank you so much, my friend, for not only reporting on this, because you're absolutely right. Mainstream media won't touch it. Won't touch it. I've heard the rumors. I've heard the rumblings about this, and it seems that that's exactly the case. And thank you for reporting on it.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
We'll see you next week. Jon Rappoport, again, I say it every Thursday night. Start your day, every day, at nomorefakenews.com. I do. All right, it's Thursday night. Here we go. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. It's Fadernight. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. It's all up to you. Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. All right, so I set the tone for tonight. This Dyson Sphere paper that was written was pretty interesting. And also the way that, mass media, looks at this community. And once again, I rolled the dice. I rolled the dice with Vice and came up short, man. Came up short. It's just very disappointing to me. So we've got all of that, much more. And, of course, Jon Rappoport and what's going on out there in Hawaii, too, as well. With that, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're up first. Who's calling?
Hey, what's up? It's Justin.
It's Justin?
Yes, sir.
How are you, man?
I'm good. I was calling, I don't know if it's fake news, but ever since I've been seeing all the reports from 2004 and all the gunship camera video, they've been calling it the Tic Tac UFO.
Right.
And I just seen George Knapp on Knapp's News put out a YouTube video. Jeremy Corbell was interviewing some insider named Trevor, and he said it wasn't a Tic Tac at all. It was a flying silver disc, like the classic UFO shape. I didn't know if you heard about that or seen about that yet.
No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Okay, I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, Jeremy Corbell put out like a 25-minute YouTube video saying this guy Trevor was a legit whistleblower and had his credentials, and he was, I don't think he's seen it with his own eyes, but he did some of the radar and seen the footage, and it was a classic silver disc. He said the thing that they're showing on the F-18 gunship is showing the heat signature. That's why it looks like the Tic Tac, but it's supposedly a classic, silvery disc. And I didn't know if anybody's not talking about it. I wouldn't say it's fake news. I'm just saying I don't think too many people have gripped it yet. But Corbell, I mean, from what I've heard, he comes out, he's great, he's got credible sources.
Sure.
And I just didn't know if anybody heard about that yet.
Well, listening to, now I haven't seen it, but I find it interesting. I heard about this radar operator, Trevor. Okay, I did hear about him. I haven't seen this interview, but it seems like it would be in direct contrast to what David Fravor, the pilot, says that he saw when he described the craft, which is where the whole Tic Tac.
I heard he said he did. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I heard he didn't see it. A lot of the pilots that are coming on record are saying they're not even sure that they've seen it. They're saying that they think they've seen it. It was in and out of time. Like, They didn't really get a clear sight on it. And this guy, Trevor, saying he's seen footage with other, I don't know, generals or commanders that have seen this without the heat signature, without the infrared, that it's a classic saucer.
Well,
Corbell came out with it.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it plays out. My memory says, I'd have to go back. It's been a while now. But my memory says that Fravor says that he approached it, went into a circle, flew around it, and got a great look at it and described it as a Tic Tac, that it was white, no wings, nothing like that, and then it took off and disappeared in a second or two, at an extremely high velocity. So that, I mean, that's where that, as far as I know, that's where the whole Tic Tac name came from, was his description of it.
That's similar to what, like the Lonnie Zamora. He said he's seen something that's like an egg, an egg, white disc with no machine working on it.
Yep.
But that guy that George Knapp had on, I think it was Sunday, he said he witnessed it for 2 weeks. So I don't know if it was 14 days exactly, but he said they were dropping like snowflakes. It was multiple unidentified craft, and they were coming from 28,000 feet down to the sea level.
Yes.
And I forget what he said.
80,000.
That's unbelievable. But
80,000 feet, 60,000 feet, 80,000 feet. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But, Jimmy, I just want to say thank you very much. And if you get a chance, check that YouTube video out on Jeremy Corbell. It's on Naps News. I know he's got it posted on there, but thank you very much for your time, and go Beckley Tappy.
Absolutely. I'll call Jeremy myself and get to the bottom of it. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, Justin.
Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great phone call right there. I haven't seen the video yet. It makes me want to maybe I'll wait to the bottom of the hour. I'll text Jeremy. Maybe we can get him on the show. You never know. All right. So with that, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
It's Wally, Philadelphia.
Hi, Wally in Philadelphia.
Hey, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. What's on your mind?
Good. One day I want to make it out to Contact in the Desert. It looks like such a cool thing. This year around, though, I went down to see my sister in Dallas, and but I was able to get like a live stream off of Facebook,
right?
Of you interviewing the panel, and you were wearing a suit, man. Were you wearing a suit?
Well, I had a jacket on.
Oh, okay.
I had jeans on and a T-shirt. Okay.
No, you look good. You look good, man. But the picture wasn't that great. The picture was kind of like, but I saw like it was like a sports coat thing, and it was a Facebook thing, and I was like, is Jimmy wearing like a suit and a tie interviewing the panel?
I've been known to wear a suit and a tie, just so you know. You know, look, when you have it's the last night, I think what you're talking about was the last night, and it's the closing panel and closing ceremonies and things. You know, and Rita wants to make sure that, I take a breath mint, and have my hair done and clean socks, all that stuff. So, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, don't get me wrong. You look good. I just, I see you, sometimes it's a live stream with the T-shirt, broadcasting and stuff, and I just thought I'd bring it up. It's not a disparaging comment.
Oh, no, it's not disparaging at all. Was that when Emery Smith and I brought out the Atacama mummy?
I didn't catch that part. I just caught you up. I didn't catch the whole feed because I was like dying to be there, but I was at my sister's in Dallas, and I knew I'd never make it out there or whatever. And so I said, I wonder if there's a way for me to watch this. And I knew somebody would be streaming it, so I found it. I just saw a picture of you up there with some. I guess you had a card in your hand, and you were reading questions or asking panel members or something. Something like that.
Yep. That was me.
Yep.
There you go. Thank you so much, Wally.
Good.
Did you have a question?
Yeah. Just a couple other comments. The Vice thing, man. You got to let it go. They preach being this alternative media source. Open minds and all this. And I've watched the channel a few times, and it's very disappointing. And I'm not going to watch their programming ever again because, you put your trust in them. And they go and do something like that. But that was it. And then also I want to let you know, I sent you an email. My girlfriend and I were in Aruba last week, and she caught a pretty interesting photo of something in the sky that I emailed you. So maybe we have a chance to check it out this week.
Okay, I will, Wally. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend, my man.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Somebody. I didn't even think about that, but I'm assuming that there were probably tons of Facebook live streams going on. Didn't even think about that. That's cool. And if you weren't at Contact, you could have saw some of that stuff out. So I'm glad that Wally did. It was just so much fun. And going back to this whole. Vice thing. It's not that I'm upset about a skeptic being there and right now I don't care about that. Just don't attack and try to make fun of people. That's just not cool. It's really, really, really not cool. Do whatever you want. Just say it was, it sucked. I don't care. That's your opinion. But don't attack people. I will always defend this community, this family. You just don't do that, man. And that's what I'm upset about. So with that, let's go to the phones. I'm going to go to area code 573. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Rob in Dayton, Ohio.
Hi, Rob in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio, home of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. How you doing?
That's right. We got all the aliens here.
Yes, you do, man. Yes, you do. And there's a lot of America in that town. I love it.
Yeah, it's the birthplace of aviation, no matter what North Carolina says.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And you know what? You guys got one of the best museums. Man, that museum at Wright-Pat is unbelievable. So what's on your mind tonight?
I had a thought, and I wanted to run it by you. I was wondering, what if all the dark matter that they say is in the universe is actually because we're so late to the game? There's so many stars out there that we can't actually see the other stars.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. That is a definite, valid comment and point. You have no idea. You just don't. When think about this for a second. This is what is really, really whack. Tonight, after the show, I want you to do this. I invite everybody to do this. Go into your kitchen drawer and take out a dime, a Roosevelt dime, something you haven't probably held in your hand in months, right? Right. But go get a dime and then walk outside and look up at the stars and then find a black spot where there's no stars, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Just find a black spot and then hold out your arm at arm's length and take that dime and place it in that black spot. Okay? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you, Jimmy.
Okay. You take that dime. Everybody's looking at me on the bunker cam. Hold it up in that black spot. In that little tiny circle of the sky where you're holding up that dime is 150,000 galaxies. Each one of those galaxies has 500 billion to 1 trillion stars. 150,000 galaxies. Now, each one of those stars, every single one inside of that dime, with all of those galaxies, every other star has a planet. Now, start to think about the math that I'm laying on you right now. Out of every 5 of those planets, 3 are rocky, like Earth. Now, let's just contemplate what I'm saying here. Every one of those galaxies has 20 billion to 40 billion things to look at. And there's 150,000 of them just where you're holding up that dime. Now, you can move that dime to the left or to the right, and you get the same math. You could go to Australia, hold up the dime. It'll be the same thing. Any point on planet Earth, the universe is a sphere, right? So anywhere that you point that dime on this planet, you're going to come up with the same math. Now, let's talk about that Dyson sphere that you're talking about. Think about that. How much intelligence is out there? How many stars that we think are in those galaxies, and how many of them may be missing because they're surrounded with a Dyson sphere, and we simply will never see them. So think about that's where I'm very comfortable in knowing that not only are we not alone, but we have something very attractive here. We have a beautiful planet. We have a perfect sun, right? And if we, have you thought about this? If we don't hurry up and harness that sun, somebody's going to show up here and take it. Somebody's just going to show up and wrap a Dyson sphere around it and tow it away. Think about that.
Well, when you put the odds like that, Jimmy, it seems like you'd have to hit the Powerball several times over for there not to be life in the universe.
That's right. Somebody made that comment to me earlier today. And, somebody made that comment to me, this lottery thing. And I'm totally with you. The odds are in our favor, and that's the only way to look at it. That's it. We have a beautiful blue planet. We've got an unbelievable solar system. We have all kinds of resources here. We've got the perfect sun. Life is great. They know about it because we're doing the same thing. We are looking for what we have here, right? That's what we're doing. Well, wouldn't they be doing the same thing? Of course they are, and they've already found us. What was your name again?
Rob,
thank you for the phone call, man. That is an amazing point that you just made, and I will always go with that.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
You have a great night. Dayton, Ohio, right there. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go to area code, can't see it from here, 505. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Karen in Silver City, New Mexico.
How are you?
Oh, well, a little annoyed at the Vice article. We were warned it did say a total skeptic is going to write this thing, so I decided to hold my nose and read the thing. And, besides running down really great people, by name and everything, the thing that kind of interested me or stuck out was the reference to false memory syndrome and experiencers are being analyzed, armchair analyzed by psychologists who deal with schizophrenics every day, saying that, our memories are faulty and we build up a whole mythology around our psychosis and blah, 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 usual debunker crap. And I wanted to mention something about false memory syndrome. That myself and Brett Colin Shepard work with Ken Johnston. He has his own team of debunkers. So we got kind of interested in them as a species, and started delving into what false memory syndrome was, and found out that, there's no telethon for the victims of false memory syndrome. It's basically provided as a way to create experts who go, in the earliest days of it, testify against victims on behalf of high-profile pedophiles. And you can go watch this series, The Keepers, on Netflix, about how this was used to discredit victims of there was a Catholic girls' school, and a priest was molesting some of the girls, and then it went to trial, and they used this false memory syndrome thing as a way to shut them down. And so, they kind of broad brushed it. This article hit everybody, that was, sincere about what they've been through and trying to share that. And it was pretty gut kicking. And no on that. Those guys, no.
Yeah, and I'm always hesitant and reticent when it comes to the mass media. And when it comes to somebody like Vice, who is supposed to be the alternative choice and pretty solid reputation, I've watched Vice. I've read their articles. I've known about Vice for years and years before they ever kicked off. But putting that aside, and I discussed all of this with Brian McManus, the editor that I spoke to. And I told him, I have respect for you guys, but don't screw this up. Well, I was just taken aback, and it's okay to be a debunker. It's okay to be a skeptic. Life is that way, and we need that. We absolutely do. But don't make fun of people. You do not do that. You do not. And I know Sonia Grace personally, and I have much respect for her. She is just as nice, just a golden soul, just a beautiful person. And to make fun of her, that's it, man. That's it. You're asking me to take the gloves off, because I will for this community. You don't do it. Write the most skeptical article ever, but don't attack people. Don't make fun of people. Just don't do it. It's not cool. So, Karen, thank you so much, and it was great hanging out with you.
Oh, yeah, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. Great phone call right there. They're always great. Let's go to area code 917. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. It's Sarah Ann from La Costa.
Oh, hi. How are you? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's really good. How you doing?
I'm thinking about that night. That was a crazy night. That was a pretty crazy night when you called in. That was one for the books right there. What was the name of that place? Stonehaven? What?
Cresthaven.
I was looking at pictures of it the other day. And I was like, that's right.
I actually went there today, just to honor the solstice. And I was like, I got to call in tonight.
Oh, right on. What were they doing up there?
I just went by myself. I just went to, do my manifestations for the solstice and work the labyrinth. It was magical as always.
So you're able to get through the gates?
Yeah, well, the gates are open until 3.
Oh, so anybody. Oh, you shouldn't say that live on the air. Okay.
Well, it's a church, it's open to the public, but not everybody knows about all of the mysticism and, the activity there. So I kind of keep that to myself.
They'd be up there going, what are all these Fade to Black shirts doing up here? What's going on? Everybody's out there at that labyrinth.
Totally.
Everybody up there periscoping, awakening man with his with his iPad. So anyway, so
we'll make that happen.
Yeah, so today was the longest day of the year, right? That was today.
It was, and I wanted to call in because I have had so many sightings over the last 4 weeks. Like, we are talking multiple sightings in a week. I mean, normally I'll see, maybe 1 or 2 craft a month when I go out for my walks here.
Right.
But it has been crazy. And what has been very interesting, Jimmy, is I have seen the same craft, or what looks like the same craft, communicating in the same way on multiple occasions.
What's it look like?
And that has never. So there's 2 that are making, multiple appearances. The first one, it looks exactly like what the planet Mars looks like in the sky right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just, spherical and amber. And it cruises, across the sky as if it could be a satellite, but it's totally not. And then it just phases out. And that's when I know that it's a UFO communicating with me. The other one, though, is super remarkable because it was about 4 weeks ago. I was walking on the golf course here, pitch frickin' black. It was right around the new moon. And there was like this flash, like a diamond-colored flash, brighter than a meteor shooting across the sky. And this was not shooting across the sky. It was just a flash. And I was like, whoa, what was that? And then it kept like going across the sky, and it would disappear, and then it would appear across the other side of the horizon and flash again like a diamond. And I've seen this craft on 2 different occasions, and they communicated that they were from Vega, and just absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow. Are you shooting video?
I tried to shoot video, and it doesn't pick anything up.
I know. It's such a drag. Such a drag. I know. It's especially at night when you hear. I say it all the time. Did you shoot video? Well, we tried. It's impossible. You really got to get lucky. What you need is you have to have a very high-end camera with a high-end lens that's capable of shooting really fast, low-light situations, and that's what you need. A cell phone camera. You have to be perfectly set up and ready to go to because it's got to be able to focus on it, and it's looking at stars, right. And it's basically looking at blackness, and it just can't pick it up. But wow, it'd be so cool if you had video.
Well, let me tell you something. When my payday comes in, I'm going to your website and I'm clicking on that night vision banner, and I'm getting myself a big ass birthday gift.
That's a game changer.
Stuff with the,
right. That's a game. I said that's a game changer right there.
Oh, if I'm seeing all this stuff without any assistance, right. I mean, I'm ready to take the party. I'm ready to go to the party.
Well, let us know when you're ready to go for that. Alec over there at Bearing Optics is absolutely amazing, but that is an unbelievable that will cause the epiphanies, right? I mean, it's just game changing. It's just game changing. Thank you so much, Sarah Ann, and be safe and be well out there, okay? And have a great weekend. Are you coming up for Disclosure Fest on Saturday?
I'm actually trying to clear my schedule. I had something booked, but
you have nothing booked.
Amazing.
You have nothing booked.
You're right.
There is nothing going on.
I'll be there.
I'll see you. Thank you so much, Sarah Ann.
Oh, thank you so much. Good night.
We'll see you Saturday. There you go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Mika. How are you? I've got 4 calls, Mika, right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 calls, all from the UK. Right now. And, yep. And I think you're the problem. Now everybody from the UK wants to be Mika.
Nice. I like that idea.
So what's going on? What's going on, man?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Space Force.
Oh, you do?
Making.
Well, what do you think about that?
Well, all I know at the moment is that Trump's made it, and he's declaring that nothing's out there, or the governments are. So what's the point of saying that there's nothing out there, but you made a Space Force?
Right. Now, this is, okay, so this is what you do. in 10 years, right? In 10 years, you sign up for the Space Force, you join, and then you call into Fade to Black, and you tell us really what's going on.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a plan? It does to me.
That sounds like a good plan.
There's something going on. I wish
There's something, definitely.
Yeah. I wish I had a friend of mine right now that was like 18, 19, 20 years old, maybe out of college, and that would able to go and sign up, go into a recruiting office and go, okay, I'm here. Okay, Marines, Navy, no, Space Force, dude. I'm here for the Space Force. And see what they say. Right?
Yeah.
Now if, when you go in and you go to one of the schools like West Point, one of the military schools, you become a cadet, right? So does that mean if you go to the space school, you become a space cadet? What do you think about that, Mika?
Yeah, that's definitely true, Jimmy.
Would you be okay being called a space cadet?
Well, no, unless it's, like a mission, I'd be okay with that, but just in general, I would not.
And so do you think that they're going to be putting, like space battle cruisers up there, with soldiers on it, right? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Is that what you think is going on when you first heard Space Force? That's what you picture, right?
Yeah, it sounds like the Star Destroyers from Star Wars. More like.
Right. Well, you've seen, what about the movie, Starship Troopers?
No, not just yet.
Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen Starship Troopers?
No.
Oh, you need to go talk to your parents. Okay, so what day is it there right now? Is it Friday?
It's Friday
Morning, right?
4:30.
Okay.
Yep, in the morning.
So that means tonight, when you get home from school after dinner, you can watch. I just said the name of the movie. What's it called again? I just said that. I said the name of it. What's the name of it? Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Write it down because I'm not going to remember it a third time. I almost said Galaxy Quest. Okay. Starship Troopers. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then next week when you call into the show, we'll talk about Starship Troopers.
Okay.
You have a great day, Mika. Now go to bed, then get up, have breakfast, go to school, and have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mika.
Bye.
Bye. That's Mika, our reporter, our reporter, producer at large, live from Dover, United Kingdom. All right. I don't know where this area code is from. Welcome to Fade to Black. What country is this? You're live. You're live. 3, 2, 1.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was me. Actually, your statement earlier, you mentioned about the universe just expanding and expanding. Eventually, we'll never see anything.
Right.
I have a little bit of a different theory about that.
What's that?
I was just wondering your opinion. I believe that stars and galaxies are going to continue to be reborn. And as far as our standpoint, we're going to see the same thing, basically. I mean, maybe not exactly the same, but, it's going to look the same from Earth as it does now 100 billion years from now.
Okay. It depends on a few things. Okay, but I can say this, that once you look outside of the Milky Way, okay? Outside of the Milky Way, those galaxies that are out there and everything that Hubble sees now, 100 billion years from now, they're not going to be there.
But those aren't. I agree.
Yeah, they're not going to be there. It's going to go. It's going to go.
But I believe that new ones will develop in the meantime.
So there will be another Big Bang and creations
not
of galaxies?
Not necessarily a Big Bang, just with supernovas, for example, causing new galaxies and, new solar systems, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I could see the future, because the thought of, and what's your name, by the way?
Rob from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey, Rob from Baltimore. This is what really creeps me out. I can assure you that there will be ships with us on them in the future, right?
That I agree with.
Right, we're gonna leave this planet. This planet's gonna get toasted.
Yeah,
we gotta
because it's
right.
not going to be here forever.
It's
You're
not
right.
going to be
Yeah.
right. So, but just imagine that we're out there and the universe is expanding, and you look out the windows of these ships, and you don't see anything.
I used to think the same way, but I've recently come up with a new theory, and it's kind of long. I'm not sure if you want to get into it, but basically it has to do with the reason I believe that the universe is expanding is because these new solar systems are being born. I mean, they say the universe now, we know the ether is basically like water. And so what is making the universe actually expand is this new stuff being put in the universe and new stuff being reborn. And it goes back even further than that as far as my theory goes, but I don't want to go back too far.
All of that is again, anything is possible, right? Anything, and putting ideas on the
right. We don't know.
No, but listening. Well, yeah, certainly I don't know. That's for sure. But
I can't say I do either. But
listening to creative ideas where we're thinking outside of the box is what causes us to expand our minds. Right? Instead of not listening, we need to listen to everybody. And I'm totally with you that is a possibility. It is. Right. The thing that I'm really fascinated with, and I'm looking at, okay, we're good here, is that time runs in one direction. Allegedly, theoretically, what they're going to say is because when the universe started, when the Big Bang kicked off, that's where time starts. I want to know about before the Big Bang. There's that part.
Yeah, I'm so with you on that. And that just blows me away. There had to be something, right?
Right. Well, so what do we do if the universe, which is another theory, is that the universe is going to reach out, it's going to go as far as it can go, and then gravity is going to overtake the dark matter and start to pull it back in, and it's going to contract and then go back to nothing. So if time works, if time goes in one direction while the universe is expanding, when it goes backwards, are we going to live time in the opposite direction? And does that mean, Rob, that you're going to live your life again, but backwards? Yeah, you got a second crack at it.
Yeah, well, that does make you think. But I don't believe that time travels in one direction. I believe that time is something that humanity has made up.
Yeah, could be. Well, when you're out there in space, it all gets weird, doesn't it? But when you're out there in space, now there is no north, south, east, west. There's not a linear thing. So doesn't time go in whichever direction you're facing, right? I find that concept kind of puzzling to me.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and so if you go against the grain, are you going backwards? And if you're certainly traveling at the speed of light away from Earth, and then you turn around and come back, well, then time has stopped. It's slowed down. Not for everybody on Earth, time has continued, but for you, it hasn't. So you're effectively a time traveler. If you went out for 5 years, 2 years in one direction, turned around speed of light, almost at the speed of light, and then stopped, and then turned around and came back, 100 or 200 years have passed on Earth. You haven't aged but a month. And so now you are in the future. You're a time traveler, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the future time travel has been proven. I mean,
theoretically, Einstein says that's the way it would work. It's going back in time.
Not just theoretically, but, I mean, it's been proven. I mean, I don't know the experiments per se, but I know it's been proven.
Well, it has. They've done stuff with atomic clocks. They have
exactly with that's right. That's atomic clocks.
Yeah, atomic clocks.
And one on the ground.
Well, GPS, and all of the satellites up there show that, and they had to rewrite all of that software to correct for the difference in time because it's slower.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Gravity affects time. Rob, great phone call, man. See, you are walking, living proof that this family on this show is smart. Thank you, Rob.
Can I tell you something else real quick, Jim?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Just recently, man, I had this amazing experience. I don't know. It totally changed my life. This just happened like 3 days ago. I literally found myself in, I don't know if it was an outer body experience or what it was, but I always hear these people talking about being in this place just full of love and energy and positivity. I was there a few days ago by meditating.
Wow.
It was awesome. The most wonderful experience I've ever had in my life.
Well, this is what you need to do. Repeat it, go back, experience it, and then call into the show and tell us all about it. Will you do that for me?
Will do.
Thank you so much, Rob. Be safe and be well.
All right, thanks. You too, Jimmy.
Great call from Baltimore right there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Area code 503.
Chase from Salem.
This is who?
Chase from Salem.
Wow, Chase. Is it the Chase?
Yes, it is.
How are you, man? It's been like 2 years.
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah. So
it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
I just want to talk about something. I had a theory for evolution, like a concept, to maybe expand on it. I was wondering your aspect or your ideas on it. So we know through the study of cymetics that things can be manipulated with sound waves, right? So we're spinning through our solar system, and every one of our planets has a harmonic frequency that bombards us. That's what we conceive as like radiation, right?
Sure.
Now, if we're spinning through the solar system, but we're also spinning through our Milky Way, we're also spinning through the universe itself. So
that's right. That's right.
Right. So as we flow through the universe, we're interacting with different harmonic frequencies that are being forced upon us.
I would say that would be true. Okay, yes.
So wouldn't it make sense for, as we are here on this planet right now, we've been bombarded by the frequencies that are in our relative space. So as we flow through, if we land in a spot where another planet had been at one point, we would be interacting with the same frequencies as that planet would have been. So we would be in the same spot fluidly as that other planet, which at some point would have made it like our twin.
I see where you're going.
Which would mean that there are a lot of planets that look exactly like us.
I could see. Well, okay, and Chase. So then, let's take that concept, right? The identical planet, the duplicate concept. Yeah. Okay, let's take it a step further. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
It's math. It's playing the odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are, because of not quite infinite, but the numbers are so big, it's just like if you have a deck of cards, right? And you shuffle the deck of cards, and you're playing poker with three buddies. There are four of you sitting at the table, right? And you deal that deck of cards out, and everybody looks at their hand, right? And their cards.
Yeah.
If you continue to shuffle and deal,
eventually
will come back up. Eventually all four will have the same exact cards in their hand. As improbable as and crazy as that sounds, and yeah, you would have to do it a lot. You could do it 2 times in a row. There's the odds of that happening too, right? That if you do it enough, one time you will deal the same set of. Okay, so anyway, there is. The odds are, mathematically, that there is an absolutely identical in every single way planet to Earth, with the same inhabitants, with the same you. The odds are that exists. And isn't that trippy?
Say it was overlaying.
Because
of the harmonic frequencies.
So, now... what you just suggested here, right? The 3D printing, right, of another Earth, right? That kicks it in. So yeah, that's I trip on that. There is. I know. It's not like I wonder if. No, that's not what I'm saying here.
There has to be.
There is. Yeah, there is not. There has to be. There is. I'm saying it as a matter of fact.
Right.
Trips me out, man. Makes me want to smoke some weed right now. Makes me just want to smoke some weed. Hey, Chase, man, be safe out there, man. Okay?
You take care, man.
Okay, man. Thank you so much, Chase. Be safe, man. You got a tough gig. Go out there and do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Have a good one, John.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you, Chase. That makes me want to smoke some weed in Canada. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's your obsessed fan.
I've got lots of obsessed fans.
Deb, it's Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb from Sacramento.
Hey, are you going to smoke some weed on the show live?
No, man, I can't do. I can't. No, it would expose my doofusness. Everybody would find out I'm not that smart. So I don't do it. I don't do it.
We'll never believe that.
Can you imagine that paranoid feeling that would come? Oh, man, that would be the worst. That would just be the worst.
Then you'd really think the CIA was listening in, huh?
Oh, everything would happen. Yes. It would all go down. And we see the light of day. A new day. So what's on your mind, Deb?
Right. Well, 2 things real quick. The other night I was watching the original movie with Christopher Reeve's Superman, the first one that they did.
Yep.
And again, there's so much disclosure in these movies. It's like I had this epiphany. He's from another planet. He's sent here. He has superpowers. He's trying to fit in, walking among us, but no one knows who he is. And then when he discovers who he is, he takes a green crystal, travels north, throws it into the ice. Well, and what manifests this big, huge home for him, right? And I thought, Antarctica, here we go. Alien bases in Antarctica. And it was kind of like the light bulb went on.
Well,
they kind of hinted at it way back then.
Well, what about 20 years ago, the X-Files film? Right?
I never saw it.
Oh, so they had the alien craft in the ice in Antarctica. What about The Thing?
Oh.
What about The Thing? Now that's
that's right.
I saw
The Thing or The Blob?
No, The Thing with Kurt Russell. The Thing. And so I saw that at a drive-in in Indianapolis. And so for everybody out there in Naptown right now, the Pendleton Pike Drive-In, that's where that was our hangout, right? So Pendleton Pike Drive-In, and I see The Thing. It never left me. Something Under the Ice in Antarctica. And they've, that movie's been made, not The Thing, but the alien ship under the ice in Antarctica. That movie's been made a lot. And it just makes you stop and ponder the significance of it. Think about that. I just quoted Frank Zappa subliminally right there. Ponder the significance.
I've never seen The Thing, so now I've got to see it.
Oh, yeah, the original. Well, there's 2 versions. There's the one from like 1955, And then Kurt Russell, which was probably, man, when did the Kurt Russell thing come out? I want to say 1980-ish, somewhere in there.
Which one do you think is better to watch?
Oh, Kurt Russell. The original thing is pretty cool. I don't have any issues with that. But we're talking about 1955 low tech. When Kurt Russell's came out, where they were doing the stopgap animation, it was pretty cool with the dog. Yeah, that was pretty incredible to see. But anyway, it's a modern twist on it, but really, really, really well done. That was a good script. That was pretty cool. And you didn't know who was who at the end. When the chips were going down, you quite simply didn't know who the bad guy was. So there you go.
Well, now I've got to see it. Now, speaking of movie disclosure, okay, so you're talking about earlier how, well, I called in originally because I wanted to talk about the Space Force, right?
Right.
So along with that thought, the minute I heard that, I'm like, okay, this is just a platform for gradually rolling out all the stuff that we've had forever, just like Emery said last night. Okay, I totally agree with him.
I do too.
Only he's been there to see it, So then I'm thinking about what you're saying earlier about eventually we're going to be on another planet, our sun's not going to live for. And then I started visualizing the movie Interstellar. Okay. And at the end of the movie, he comes back and he's at a totally different place in space. He's on a whole different planet and everything. And that's going to be us someday.
Could be.
Yeah. More disclosure through movies. I watched that series on Gaia too, where Jay Widener had that about movies and disclosure and everything and messages through movies. So I had seen that when I watch a movie now anyway.
Right.
But yeah, what you said keyed into immediately. I thought, Interstellar, there we go. So.
Love Interstellar. Thank you so much, Deb.
Thank you, Jimmy. Have a great weekend. You guys knock it out of the park at the
Disclosure Fest.
What are you guys calling it? Disclosure Fest. Yeah, I'm going to do the live stream and tune in. What time are you guys going to be doing live streaming?
I have no idea. I've got the schedule here. I'll worry about it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll check the website. Okay, thanks, Jimmy. Take care.
Thank you, Deb. Great phone call. Always a great phone call with Deb. Let's see here. Let me do this. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go to area code 214. 214, you're up next. 214.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing good. Who's this?
This is Andy from Dallas.
Andy from Dallas. How are you, man?
I'm great. Love your show. I've been a fan for a long time. It's always, interesting topic. And I wanted to talk about there's something that's going on in Southeast Asia. I don't know if it's something big, but it's not on any of the international news. So I don't know if you heard of it. So it's basically Vietnam is renting three area, big city area to Vietnam, and Vietnam citizen is protesting big time right now, and they're just being oppressed through online and even through YouTube, social media. And I want to ask your opinion. Have you seen any news?
Have not heard anything. No, I haven't heard anything about this. What is China's interest in these in this land?
So they're gonna block off the perimeters of this land, right? And they're big, they're city, city area,
right?
And they can make their own law. They're gonna bring their own citizen, their own military, their own police. And these are all prime real estate. These are all beachfront area.
Huh.
And they're already doing it in Laos. So if you look at the map, Vietnam is where it's blocking China from the whole corridor, the southeast corridor, where 4 trillion of goods going through, every year.
Right.
And so China is claiming the water that's all the way down to the Philippines, and Philippines is nowhere near China. So they have to, take over Vietnam first. That's the first step, and they're already doing that in North Korea. So North Korea, everybody's talking about that because it's a huge deal, and that's the other end of the China border, so the north, and Vietnam is the other end. So there's a pattern with this, right? So China is behind all of these.
Wow, that's great. So what is it now, these areas, is it like Ho Chi Minh City, or is it up in the north like Hanoi?
It's all over. It's up in the north, in the middle, and in the south.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. Well, when you think about, the way Vietnam is all the way down the coast, right? In between, it's right. You've got the Philippines right there, and then you've got Thailand, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore. All of that is affected. The Gulf of Thailand. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know anything about this, and I'll see what I can find out. But certainly, it's not in the mainstream media at all over here. Nobody's talking about it. It sounds like a real conspiracy.
Yeah, it's there. So Vietnam is there ever since this going on. So people is protesting, and they've been like oppressed because it's a very communist country. So they're raising the idea of what is that called? Basically just cutting off all internet to Vietnam, and that's
yeah. And that's the way to do it these days. That's how you suppress everybody, man. Take the internet away. They can't film. They can't upload. You don't have your YouTube. You can't Periscope. You can't get the news out. And unfortunately, that's what the internet brings. You get freedom with the internet, but if they want to cut you off, they can cut you off. What was your name again?
Andy.
Andy, thank you for the phone call, man. Yeah. All right, and I'll look into this. I find it very interesting. Thank you so much.
Yes, please look into that, and then, if you can see anything, you can raise awareness to it. That would be great, too.
I'll see what I can do, Andy. Thank you for the phone call.
Right, thank you.
Great phone call. Let's go to area code 773. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Thanks, Jimmy. What's going on?
Hey, man, what's on your mind?
Man, I was just thinking, right now, so you got guys like Bill Cooper, Bill Snyder, people that told real interesting stories, like Preston Nichols said he had the ET next to him in the office. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody looking to that farther. And then you got these people, military people with credentials, and nobody still believes.
Right. I know.
Can't
explain it.
Say like the UFO community fighting a bear with a switch.
I know, right? I couldn't agree with you more. And there have been enough of the military side of whistleblowing that has been there. And then you get the other side.
Bill Tompkins
is a great example. Phil Corso. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just if you just take the military people alone, what if you took them guys on board?
I know. Travis, I got to head to a commercial, man, but you do your research, man. I'm really into you, man. Thank you for the phone call.
All right.
I really appreciate it. He does, man, Travis from Chicago is on his game. Dropping Bill Cooper and Bill Tompkins and Corso. Right? All in one phone call. He's absolutely right with that. This is Fade to Black. I'm yours, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night, Fadernight. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy
soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. My favorite night of the week. That's my official statement from here on out. This is my favorite night of the week. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's go straight back to the phones. Area code 805. You're up next.
Hey, I'm just smoking the beans and slapping that bass, Jimmy.
How are you?
I'm great. It's Kendra Ventura.
Yes, Kendra.
And I had a reading from Chris last night, and you had said to call back on Fadernight, so I'm a-calling.
Okay, what was that was 2 nights ago. You freaked me out for a second. I'm thinking last night was Chris? No, last night was Disclosure Fest. Yeah, the night before, Chris Medina. Okay, what was his reading with you?
I had just wanted to just give me a blank message, not a specific question, and he came back with that within 2 weeks I would probably get some kind of answer to a question I've put out there regarding my life path. And I guess you found that, and I found that quite intriguing.
Sure.
Yeah, so I've been, giving it a lot of thought. And, as I've shared before, I don't know if you recall, I'm a stage 4 terminal cancer survivor, 4 years now, with a 1% chance of living past a year. I was diagnosed in 2014. So I'm ready for a PET scan. Not meaning like we put chips in our pets, but it's a body imaging that looks for cancer. So I'm due for that pretty soon to maybe find out that the cancer is totally gone now. It's literally only existing in the very middle of my body, like between my belly button and my lower back, which is hard to get all the cannabis and other essential oils to. It's like the hardest place in the body to get to,
right?
Non-invasively. So that could be it. I don't know.
Interesting. When is this a PET scan?
I'm sorry. Say again.
When is the PET scan scheduled?
I'm trying to get it scheduled right now, so it's not set up for sure.
Right.
But it might presumably be within the next 2 weeks, but I don't know if that's it. But that's a pretty serious life path situation, So, but actually, I wanted to bring something up and run it past you and get your thoughts. I'm sure you've heard about this, and I'm sure most Fadernauts, but maybe some don't know. This is just kind of blowing my mind, though it's hard to get one's mind blown with all the craziness going on. But Linda Howe, my Shiro, she's so amazing. I cannot believe that woman is 84 years old.
I don't think she's not 84, 74.
Oh, okay, then that, yeah, all right, that's better. I heard
even
80.
74 is crazy, but 84... That's
something.
but anyway, yeah, don't freak Linda out too as well. You're like, what am I 84? Okay, so what did she say? What is she saying?
She's been reporting on a story that came out of Japan, and it actually happened. This incident August last year, where a bunch of robots killed a number of.
Yeah. She talked about it on Fade to Black. Yes.
Yeah, so my question is if that's not, even though it's a super negative side, but isn't that like singularity? I mean, the one robot was trying to hook up with the satellite so it could figure out how to repair itself or another robot, or I mean, without instruction from a human being. Right. Is that not singularity?
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that is, it's a crazy story. I mean, that's one of the things that really scares the crap out of me. And it's not even Kendra. It's not even the big giant transformer bots coming at us. That's one thing, but it's the other part where the opposite. Swarms of little tiny microscopic, you don't even see them. They, it looks like smoke, the
nano world.
Yeah, that really, really freaks me out. And
yeah, Annihilation last night. Wow. What a mind bender.
Yeah, you watched it? It's good.
It is so good. Highly recommended. It's smart people sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. For those out there that were negative about, including Wilcock, he really went south on Annihilation. I didn't find it to be a horror film. There was only that one scene, and I was taken aback by that. I thought, okay, this is going to go in this direction, but it didn't. But the last half hour of the film was pretty incredible. I mean, I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. Well, Kendra,
I thought it was,
you're going to call us back after your scan, okay, and let us know.
Yeah, I would love to call back and say my 4th of July Independence Day from cancer. So that's my plan.
That's exactly right. Okay, so thank you so much, Kendra.
Easy. Love you, man.
Right back at you. Thank you, Kendra. And there you go. Wow. Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting when it comes to Chris Medina? Wouldn't that be interesting? Let's go to area code 205. You're up next.
Hey, Jimmy Church. Good evening.
Good evening. Who's calling?
This is JP from Birmingham, Alabama.
JP from Birmingham, Alabama. How are you, JP?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself? You looking forward to Disclosure Fest this weekend?
Are you? You're not here in Alabama, man.
Yeah, I'm going to make it. Of all the conferences going on across the country and, the 34-acre park and all the great speakers, it would be worth putting in the the gas and the camping, along the way to make it, but just can't make ends meet even on that at this time. But I like Deb mentioned earlier, I plan to tune in for the live stream and be a part of that. I think they're trying to get as global a participation in the mass meditation, synchronized as possible. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to, just all the exposure for the community. To be honest, I heard you talking last night about estimates of, something like 10K people possibly after the gate's all said and done, and that's it's a really impressive and inspiring event. So all the best to you, and have a great time.
Yeah, this 10K number that's been thrown around, I think that's a very safe number. But with the publicity that has been going out, with the LA Times and the LA Weekly,
I heard about
and
that.
the news, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a way bigger than that. The good news is it's a huge park. It's 35 acres, and we shall see. But those are problems that I think Adrian and Jeremy would love to have. But it's
exactly good problems to have.
Yeah, it's such a cool event. Well, it'll be happening again next year. And maybe you can make it out. You bring up a really good point, though. I got tons. I mean, when I say tons, I got tons of email and post and stuff over at OnStellar asking about the time of the mass meditation so everybody could participate. Just go to the schedule of events is right there at disclosurefest.org. And if you guys all want to zone in and zen in with us, and sync with the mass meditation, everything is there. And you can certainly do it also with the live stream. And wouldn't that be great? But I know that there are going to be people across this country and around the world that are going to be locking in with all of us at the same time. So thank you for pointing that out, JP.
Sure. Well, I'd love to run one more thing by you.
Sure.
I paid attention this week to see if you might have mentioned it, and it may be old news. I may have been behind last week, but this is tying into a little bit to the mass media exposure of the topic content in our world, and also the caller earlier who mentioned some of the conflicting stories between the radar operators and pilots, the TTSA. Something that came out, I want to say it was published just about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and it was the transcript of a speech that Dr. Hal Puthoff gave to a conference of the Society for Scientific Exploration and another association, remote viewing, an annual gathering. And even the write-up of the speech itself remarks that this is pretty uncharacteristic for Dr. Puthoff, tending to hold back and really try to make more generally scientific and defensible statements and, stay hard at work and not necessarily grandstand by any means. But the speech actually made some pretty bold assertions as far as the disposition of TTSA and the stuff that they're dealing with. It's worth checking out. One thing I would draw attention to, just insofar as it ties into many previous conversations you've had about the amount of information versus disinformation and the extent to which these different parties may be purposely or who knows for what reasons coordinated or uncoordinated with one another. He actually says in the speech that refers specifically to the ATIP name, and I know this is something that has come up several times, but refers to the ATIP name as being a nickname, and that specifically says that the reason people are having trouble with FOIA requests or trying to get anything out of the Pentagon is because the name has continuously been misrepresented. And you forgive me, it's kind of a long speech. I should have had it pulled up right in front of me, and I did, but advanced... goodness gracious, you'll forgive me. I know this is radio. It's not a thing you can do. But nevertheless, there are lots of highlights in the speech. There are points that he makes, digging into some of the older stuff about bismuth alloys that were supposedly, stuff going all the way back to the 40s and highly advanced technical analysis of that, about how it can produce these wave scattering effects. I don't know. I found that very interesting, and I just wasn't sure if you had heard anything on that front recently.
Well, yes, Yes, I've heard and I've read everything that I can on this, and I get it sent to me every day. My whole take on this, overall, we are talking about a relationship with the Pentagon and allegedly. Okay, I have to say allegedly because nothing's proven. With To the Stars Academy, and that they are going to develop this technology and bring it to the commercial sector, right? Okay, and to humanity. Now, the issue that I have is very, very basic, and it's cut and dried. There's nothing to dance around here. Either the Pentagon has UFO ET technology that they have captured or been given, or they do not. I don't want to, it's cut and dried. I don't want to hear, we're looking into the technology, we're looking at these videos, we're trying to figure out what is really going on here. This is interesting. There's something definitely going on. That I've heard a million times. We all have. So
more smoke screening, right?
Either they do or they don't. Don't play around. That's it. That's it. I don't care about videos. We're analyzing a video, dude. I've seen videos every single day. I don't care about videos. I don't care about speculation. I don't care. I want to know. Does the Pentagon, yes or no, possess this technology? That's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Everything else, BS. It's just all BS. It's all BS. You know, the caller earlier, and again, I respect everybody's opinion, but the call earlier about Travis, the radar operator, and the Tic Tac UFO, or whether it's a silver disc, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah,
at
blah.
the end of the day, I hear you.
I want to know, does the Pentagon have this technology in their possession? That's it. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question for anybody. So there you go. Yeah, JP, thank you for the phone call, my friend.
Absolutely. Let me hit you with one more thing, one more factoid on the topic of the Space Force. It's interesting to note that has been for decades now the existence of the United States Air Force Space Command, which has a lot to do with launches, GPS satellites, and cyber coordination among the different branches of the military and the Air Force. That already consists of more than 35,000 deployments. That is, I think somewhere 25K. That is military and close to 10K civilian, all around the world in more than 130 locations, and that will become the core of the Space Force. I've heard some rumors that, Congress has kind of in mind some people for a long time, so I just wanted to throw that out at you. But this is my second time calling. My first time was back several weeks ago when you did that first time call giveaway with a mug. I did get that. I enjoy my coffee out of it every day. Thanks for everything that you do. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, right on, JP. Thank you for the phone call. I was talking about that the other night, that these numbers being thrown around by the Pentagon. Yeah, 15,000, 20,000 force with another group of civilian contractors, too, as well. So, yeah, that number is pretty high. Let's go to area code 949. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, man, it's Clayton, brother.
Who's this?
This is Brad.
Brad, how are you?
Pretty good.
Brad, what's on your mind?
Check it out.
Okay, your phone is cutting in and cutting out, Brad. You got to give us a call back, and we will get you on the air. But clean that thing up, and we'll talk to you. Area code right, 702. Who's this? Your area code 702. Oh, oops. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a clean line through here. Okay.
Okay.
Who's calling?
But my area code is actually 661.
Yes. You know how many phones are coming in right now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it all straight.
Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
And I was going to call you about ESETI.
What about it?
I just want to tell the feeders, I went there last August with my husband, and it was so awesome. So I just want to let them know that I had a private reading with James.
Right.
And he was telling me things because I asked some of my kids, I have a 2- and a 5-year-old, and he was telling me that my son was like, I don't know, like a 7th-dimensional lion being. And I was like, oh, okay, and I didn't really think too much of it. And then when I got home, I realized, because he's like those lion beings in like Indian mythology are like the protector of the gods. And I got home, I realized his name is Xander, which means defender of men.
Oh.
His blanket had a huge lion on it. And yeah, it was like the craziest thing. And his middle name means lion.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize any of that stuff.
And of course James didn't know, but you never.
Yeah.
This
never even thought of it.
Wow, that is totally cool.
I know.
I know. I hate that when that happens. So now, how was ESETI for you though?
Oh, I loved it. It was really cool. And I think the cool thing about the Faders going is that we went on a night where, like, the Friday night, random people came, and we saw a little bit. And, like, the next night we didn't see anything. There was a ton of people, but people who weren't staying there. And then one night it was just the people who were staying there. And we saw, like, oh, my God, like almost, I think, like 40 lights in the sky without any of the night vision.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It's insane. That happened to us, too, as well. We did four nights up there. One was like, okay. All right. It was okay. Yeah. There were some things going on and it was fun and we were having a good time. The second night was the night that all hell broke loose, man. It was just like, it was crazy. It was, it was like stuff to the left, stuff to the right, stuff above us. They just, and it was for about 45 minutes. There was a 45-minute run of chaos. It was
and
crazy.
Lights on the mountain.
Yes. Yeah. And
it seemed like it was a freeway, like a UFO freeway on top of us, and they're just like going about their business. It was insane. And my husband, who was like a non-believer, and he's like a oncology pharmacist, he's like, okay, I'll just go with you. He was like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah, he's different today, isn't he?
He's different today. For sure.
But what was really crazy for me that second night, and the third night and the fourth night were really cool too. There was a lot of, but that second night when everything broke loose, it got to the point where the stuff on the mountain, which was there, that was like filler material, right? Because we were looking up, I mean, it was stuff going, and then it was like, okay, a little break in the action. What's going on the mountain? And you just look in there, crazy stuff going on that mountain, like really weird colored flashes of light. And during the day, you look at the mountain, you're looking at the snow and the ice, a sheer face, a cliff, and what was there last night? So then
I know there's nothing there. It's crazy.
So then we go to Shasta. A couple of weeks later. We're up at Shasta, and which is great. It's a fun community, and it was all cool. But after ESETI, I had certain expectations about Shasta.
Oh yeah.
and I stared at that mountain for 3 days. Nothing. Now we did night vision. We did night vision one night. It was great. There was really cool stuff to see, and there was stuff going up in the sky. But Shasta itself, nada. And I'm thinking, what went on at ESETI, which was a nonstop thing going on that mountain. I don't.
Yeah.
I still can't explain
There's
it.
someone behind us that had night vision. We didn't even know that. So I was like, oh my God, so far we've seen like 40, 50 lights. And I was like, oh, how many have you seen? He's like, oh, I wasn't even counting. It's like hundreds by the time. And he had the night vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you have saw that many just with the night vision? They're like, yeah, but with the naked eye, things were like lighting up, powering up.
I know.
Like,
That was, you see, Samantha, you bring up the best point of all. Night vision up in the sky, you're going to see stuff. Up at ECETI, night vision's great, binoculars are great, but you don't need any. You just stand there, right? And things are going down. So anyway, you can look at Shasta's 14-mile. Shasta. Mount Adams is 14 miles away, and you're standing there in the dark looking at that mountain, and this thing's lighting up like a Christmas tree. And I don't know what, and with your eyeballs, it's so much fun. Are you coming up?
And you don't get it till you're out there because it's so rural, You think, oh, okay, there must be a lot of places around. There's nothing out there. So by the time you get up to the mountain, there has to be absolutely nothing.
There's nothing there. Look at it on Google Maps, right? On Google Earth. There's nothing there but trees. There's no houses. There's no nothing. It's Indian reservation land. There's no roads. There's a couple of fire trails here and there. Then when you get to the mountain itself, there's nothing there. There's nothing. Now, there may be, and I was thinking to myself, there's a mountain climber or a group of mountain climbers up there, and they've got tents, and they're on the side of the mountain, and they've got flashlights. When was the last time you saw a flashlight on the side of a mountain or anywhere from 14 miles away? Right?
And not only that, it's moving back and forth.
Moving.
It's not miles in like a second. That would be crazy.
Right. I'm trying to be sensible in my mind. They've got a snowmobile. It's a snowmobile with a headlight, and then that's what I'm trying to, be the skeptic. I'm trying to debunk it. And then you look at it during the day, there ain't no snowmobile going across the face of a mountain. Yeah. It's just not at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So there you go.
I took my skeptic husband. By the time it was over, at first he's like, "Okay, maybe that's a satellite. Maybe that's." By the end, he's like, "Okay, I guess they're here, but now what?"
Yeah, now what?
Obviously, there's something going on.
Are you coming up? Are you going to Soltech?
No, we'll be in the middle of we're moving to a different house, but I'm so excited. I wanted the feeders to really be psyched about the experience because they're going to have a ton of fun. You guys are probably just going to see one land on the right there on the grass with all the people you're taking,
It's so much fun. There is nothing like sitting in those chairs on a star-filled night up at ECETI. It's just there's nothing better. Thank you so much, Samantha. I got to head to a commercial.
Okay, you guys have a great time. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Samantha. That's a great phone call. Yeah, have a great night. This is Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. Taking your calls all night long. The phones have been jammed. Lone Star. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say? Change tea at getthetea.com. A lot. But by federal law, we at getthetea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at getthetea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Getthetea.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. It's Thursday night, Fadernight, open line all night long. My favorite of the week, hanging out with each and every one of you. Last segment of the show, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Wow, great phone calls tonight, all of them. Been jammed. I'm letting everybody know it. This is one of the craziest Fader nights ever. Just completely jammed. I'm trying to get everybody in. Let's go to area code 714. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is Ken from Irvine. How you doing, man?
Hey, Ken from Irvine. How are you?
I am fine, thank you, sir. Great night, like you said. Thank you for taking my call.
Are you coming up? Are you coming up? Disclosure Fest.
I am coming up, and better than that, I get to take my daughter. For years, she took me to see her people with the K-pop, and this year, I get to take my daughter to see my people at the Disclosure Fest. It's a real treat.
That's what I'm talking about. How old is she?
She's 23.
23. Yep, I can't wait. Bring her up, and she can meet Rita and myself. I really look forward to it.
Oh, that'll be fabulous. Great. Thank you, Jimmy. So just one light thing for the day's conspiracy and myths. For my kids, like I said, are grown now, and forever I have been telling them that you could balance an egg today. And so every year I balance an egg one way or the other. I am going to balance this egg. I thought I would share that with the Fader nuts.
Did you pull it off?
You bet I pulled it off. But there's a trick. Forget the salt and everything, but there's a trick, and you can do it.
My dad did it to me, but he had salt on the table.
Yep, that'll do it too.
Yeah.
But if you just shake the egg hard and break the yolk will settle to the bottom, and you can balance it every time.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh man, I wish I would have known that when my daughters were still young. They don't buy anything.
Well,
today now they see through everything.
Yeah, I know, but still, Dad has this magic power anyway, so you can try.
Right on, Ken. So what's on your mind?
Jimmy,
What's on your mind?
that was it. Actually, really, that was it. I get to share my people with my daughter and to share the myth of the egg balancing.
Thank you, Ken, and we'll see you in 2 days, man. We'll see you up here in Los Angeles for Disclosure Fest.
Looking forward to it. Great fun.
Have a great night.
Good night, Jimmy.
You too. That's I didn't know that. You shake the egg, you break the yolk. I swear I've never heard that. That's why we do Thursday night Fadernight right there. I just learned something. I got a mess. We have 2 young nieces. 3. We have 3 nieces. Rita, how many nieces do we have now? So we have 3. This is going to be good. Rita's listening to me right now. All right, let's go back to the phones. I think we got, this is Eric. Eric, where are you today?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Eric.
I'm doing real good. I'm out here at the Lake Powell Resort. I wasn't planning to come here, but it was on the way to Dulce, New Mexico. So I put it on the bucket list, and I had to sign up.
So, wait a minute. You're not coming to Disclosure Fest?
Yes, I called to really the reason I called is to tell you I'm sorry, sincerely, and I'm a little bummed. I'm actually quite bummed because I heard you added Emery Smith at the last minute. Had I known he was going to be there, I would have never planned to come to Dulce. But tomorrow night, I'm going to be here a party with a bunch of people with Daryl Sims, and he's going to show me the pictures, and I just wanted your permission to mention Jimmy Church and kind of drop your name, so maybe he'll kick down some pictures that I can share with the Fadernauts.
Oh, you can do that anytime. Daryl is one cool dude. So that's Dulce is this weekend?
Yeah, and I planned it a long time ago, and truthfully, I didn't know about the Disclosure Fest. So next year, let's really promote this thing like 3 months ahead of time, because I tell you, if I'd known, I honestly didn't even know until like a week ago. I don't know how that happened. I'm shocked. I'm just. But anyway,
that's okay.
You know what? I'm excited for you guys. I'm going to miss you guys.
I'm going to tell you something funny. The response that I got so much email about your phone call a couple of weeks ago from people that listened to the show for like the first time. Right? They've never heard it before. And they thought that you were just some caller that I was abusing. How can you do that to somebody that just calls into the show? Is this how you treat your audience? Is this how you do? And I'm dying. I'm dying inside. And so I could, I can't, sit here and respond to, 50 emails, going, no.
Can I just say this, Jimmy? I mean, just the listeners that are listening. You and Rita invited me out to the Alien Snow Fest like almost 3 years ago or somewhere about there. And honestly, that was probably in the last 15 or 20 years was one of the greatest experiences I've had in my life. And so that's where the Awakening Man kind of, was born in a sense, because I had just started listening to your show and John Paul. Anyway, so I'm just, no one needs to worry. Jimmy and I, we like to tease each other. We like to play around, just jab each other back and forth, and I try to always throw something at you to mix it up a little, and because I know you're smart enough to handle it, so that's just the way it goes. Right?
Oh yeah, it was just so funny, and I've just been dealing with it. It's funny to me. It's funny, and the for those that are in, Rita's and myself, our circle. Okay, it's a very small circle. And if you are in that circle, if you make it into the circle, I'm going to mess with you. And if you are in the circle and something goes awry and I stop messing with you, that's when you start wondering. That's when you go, oh, man, what did I do? Jimmy.
What I love about you is you kind of let me mess with you a little bit. And sometimes I get these private tweets like, oh, I can't believe you said that. It's like, dude, Jimmy's cool. He's a Fadernaut. I mean, he's just doing his thing, and I'm just playing with him. We're having fun. We're exchanging ideas and information, telling stories. I mean, that's what life is, right?
That's it. That's exactly what it's about. That's exactly what it is about. So where are you today?
Okay, so since I don't want to take up any more time because I love the Fadernauts, I know they like to call in, so I'll give you a choice. I got a great story from the Alien Con, but I got a really, really good story from today on the river. I took the little 6-hour tour.
Yeah, forget about
Alien
Alien Con. Yeah, nobody cares about Alien Con.
Okay, here's the story I got today. I got to tell you this story. It's a great story.
Right.
So I'm getting on the boat, this pontoon. There's 22 people. These two ladies, they're in their 50s, attractive ladies from Ohio. So we're sitting on the boat together. I'm going to make this short. And I'm asking, they said Ohio, so right away Wright-Patterson comes into my brain. I'm like, oh, so are you near Wright-Patterson? She goes, as a matter of fact, we are. And the one lady goes, yeah, I used to date this guy that was da-da-da-da-da. I worked at Wright-Patterson. And then long story short, turns out his father was a part of we'll go back to 1947 in Roswell, was part of the crash retrieval team and knew about the materials that were brought to Wright-Patterson. And so this is what was interesting. This is why I believe this story. I'm not on the fence on this story, because this lady said that she dated this guy for a year and a half, and then he just felt really close to her. So he kind of busted out some intel and said, yeah, that's completely true. And now my dad they've got him in a loony bin because he started telling people the story, and he told me, his son, the family, and so this guy, so the information was out, and they didn't want that information out. So I just thought that was fascinating. Whenever you get a story on something like Roswell that comes from inside Ohio, I get excited about that.
Somebody just tweeted out, does Eric work or what? And does he have a job? Because you do nothing but travel the country and drive a very expensive car. So I just threw you under the bus. I let everybody know. We might as well just bring you out now. Eric, he is the heir to the fortune. So his parents invented the Post-it. I know. I hope you're not embarrassed by that, but there you go. He is the heir to the Post-it fortune.
Okay, but I just want to get your permission on this. So, can I, if I meet somebody and I've got your Fade to Black shirt on my cap, and they assume that I'm working with or I'm part of Fade to Black, I says, well, I'm a Fadernaut, but can I say that I'm the assistant volunteer producer? Is that going to get you in trouble if I say that?
You need to clear that through Rita. I'm not the boss.
Okay.
But
when I meet Daryl Sims, I'm going to say, I kind of, I don't know how to say it. I kind of want to drop your name so that I get extra cred, and then maybe really good pictures because I mentioned your name.
Well, you got the Fade to Black license plates, right, on the car.
Yeah. All right.
So just walk him out to that bad BMW of yours and go, dude, see that right there? I don't need a business card. I've got that license plate.
Yeah, I got this. I was wearing this shirt just real quickly. Going back to Alien Con, I really seriously, you need to be. I think as your assistant volunteer producer, I'll broker the deal. You need to be a part of that because there was all that flavor there, and I talked to some people and they couldn't figure out why.
Well, look,
Carolyn was there.
I know.
All right. I'm just saying.
These are things
they had no MC. Let me just tell you, Jimmy, they had no MC. I went to I listened to the speakers. They had nobody to do speakers. There was no jazz. There was no pizzazz. It was kind of boring. I mean, it was good.
That's what I heard.
Boring.
I heard. This is what. Okay. I talked to a couple of friends that were there for the first time. And this was their comment, and this is what scares the crap out of me. This is why I have no interest in Alien Con. That it was nothing but people running around getting in line for autographs. They didn't care about, it was just a fan fest where there was that aspect of it, and that there were ticket holders that couldn't get into these rooms because the rooms were so packed that they paid to see.
True.
And there was no organization anywhere, that people were just running around bumping into each other, and it was unorganized, and that
that's true. It's true.
And now
it was their second year apparently here in LA. From what I heard.
No, the first
a nice town though. I don't know if you.
No, Pasadena's great. Pasadena's great. I used to live there, but the first one was up in San Mateo, up near San Francisco. This is the second one. I think the third one. I think they're taking it to Baltimore. I think it's Baltimore's next.
Yeah.
Baltimore or Boston or something like that. But I'm not into I'm not into that. I mean, that's, I'm just not into it. Now, if they can find a way to get some organization, that's something else. Look, contacting the spoils you. The organization,
totally.
right?
Victoria was there, by the way. She had a booth there.
Yeah.
And again, I want to throw you under the bus right now. She wants you to do the pool party, and I said, Jimmy, you can sit at the bar with the misters. You can have a few shots. We'll do it for 1 hour, and then all the Fadernights can hang out in the pool, and the people don't want to go in the pool can be around the pool. She was ecstatic. I mean, think about that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect night. Yeah, no, I don't have issues with that. And Conscious Life Expo is run like a Swiss watch, right? And it just tons of organization, and it's laid out all year, and everything is by the clock, and it's just run, and it's people there for knowledge, and that's what they're there to do. Alien Con it's a fan thing where they just want to go there and shake hands and get an autograph, pay for a selfie. They get a photograph taken. They go to the next and to the next and to the next and to the next. And that's what they're doing. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Shows produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and operated, copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Head over to OnStellar, onstellar.com. Until tomorrow night, Fadernight, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.